Welcome to the athlete's secret weapon. Before we get into this, understand something most athletes miss. Your performance isn't just physical, and it's not just mental. It's all connected. The way you think, the way your body responds, the way you handle pressure, your breathing, your awareness, it all works together. When that connection is off, you feel it. But when it's aligned, everything slows down. Everything feels clear, and you start playing at a different level. That's what we're training here. Not just your mind, but your body, your awareness, and your connection to something bigger than the moment in front of you. Let's get to work.
You ever stand on the sideline after you screwed up and your hands won't stop shaking? The crowd feels like a heavy wind. Your head is a racing highway, and every muscle decides to argue with you. What if I told you the fix isn't another pep talk or more visualization? It's under your feet.
Think about the last time you collapsed after one mistake. The tight jaw, the quick shallow breaths, the knees that suddenly forgot how to move. You tell yourself, next play, but your body is still holding the last one. You might blame confidence, talent, or grit, but those are the surface stories. What you actually feel is a nervous system that just hijacked your body. If that sounds familiar, stick with me. This episode is for you. What athletes rarely say out loud is, my body went first and my brain followed. You get this buzzy, high-energy feeling in your chest, and then your hands, your feet, everything goes stiff. You aren't lazy or weak. Your system switched modes into defense. That mode protects you from a threat, but it also ruins fine motor patterns. Recognizing that is the first step toward fixing it. So we call it a spiral. One mistake turns into a second, then a third, and all of a sudden you're watching yourself fall apart. Coaches say relax, teammates say shake it off, but those are verbs for people who already have a pathway back. If the pathway is scrambled, you need a physical reset that reroutes the system fast.
I remember a playoff game, loud stadium. Ball slips on my foot, and suddenly I'm shaking on the bench. I told myself I was fine, but my foot didn't listen. That helplessness is brutal. What would have helped me then is something tiny and immediate, not a 20-minute breathing exercise, something to bring the body back so the skill could come out again. Here's the core reframe. It's not a confidence problem. It's not about more grit. It's about the mind-body connection under pressure. The nervous system flips from a state that supports automatic, practiced movement to one designed for threat detection. When that flip happens, your motor memory gets muffled. Grounding restores the sensory motor loop. It reminds the brain where the body is, so the body can do what it trained to do.
Let me say that another way. Talent and willpower haven't disappeared. They're offline because your system thought something urgent was happening. If you can reroute the system in seconds, you bring those skills right back. That's the power of a somatic anchor.
Okay, the tool. We call it the ground line reset. It's a 45 to 60 second sequence using 4 pressure points in your feet: toes, ball, arch, and heel. Combine that with a single micro breath and a micro visual anchor, and you cut the emotional charge. It's simple, repeatable, and trainable between plays.
Walk us through it step by step. I want something athletes can use on site, not just in a quiet room.
Start upright, wherever you are. Step 1, feel your toes. Distribute a small amount of pressure forward onto the toes for 2 seconds, noticing sensation. Step 2, shift back to the ball of the foot for 2 seconds. Step 3, move pressure to the arch, gentle, 2 seconds. Step 4, drop into the heels, 2 seconds. Each shift is deliberate and connected to a soft exhale. After the heel, take one calm micro breath in through the nose and out through the mouth, short, controlled. Finish with a visual anchor. Pick a small detail in front of you, the seam on the turf, a stripe on the court, and hold that image for a breath. Total time, 45 to 60 seconds.
So it's toes, ball, arch, heel, then the micro breath and a small visual lock.
I like that because it's concrete. What does that feel like physiologically? Why does it actually shut the spiral down?
Shifting pressure changes proprioceptive input, the information your nervous system uses to know where you are in space. That input competes with the threat signals. When you feed the nervous system clear, regulated sensory information from the feet, you pull attention out of the loud, anxious part of the brain and back into the sensory motor loop. The microbreath nudges the autonomic state toward parasympathetic balance just enough to re-enable fine motor control. It's quick, body-based, and rooted in physiology.
Let me give a real example. In a game last season, Coach told us to reset after mistakes. I started doing the ground line reset between plays when I felt the buzz. Within a week, my teammates noticed I didn't spiral after turnovers. My feet felt like they were reminding my body what to do. It doesn't feel fancy, it's practical. I used it right before inbound plays, and it stopped my brain from overcorrecting.
Love that. Practical beats fancy. Walk listeners through a live demo with us now. Maya, say it out loud like you're coaching someone in a timeout.
Okay, team. Toes, 2 seconds. Feel the tips grounded. Ball, 2 seconds. Roll your weight slightly forward. Arch, 2 seconds. Notice the midfoot connection. Heel, 2 seconds. Sink your weight back long enough to feel your base. Now one calm micro breath in and out. Pick a small visual detail and hold it. Eyes forward, shoulders soft. Ready to play. That sequence took under a minute, and it brings the body back to task.
I can hear that in my head. Toes, ball, arch, heel, breath, focus. The cue words help me commit it when things were loud. The first few times you might mechanically count it, but the goal is to make it automatic between plays. If someone thinks this is too subtle or placebo, what would you tell them? How long before they feel a difference? 2 answers. First, it's not magical. It's physiological. Second, you should feel subtle changes immediately and more solid results in 2 weeks with specific practice. We recommend a simple progression. Week 1, practice the reset in warm-ups and 2 times per day, 5 reps seated and 5 reps standing. Week 2, thread it into drills and do it as your post-mistake routine in scrimmages. By the end of 2 weeks, it becomes a conditioned response.
And coaches will notice. When you stop spiraling, you look like the guy who can be trusted in crunch time. That trust changes how coaches use you and how teammates lean on you. It's identity work disguised as a foot drill. Picture a different season. You make a mistake, you do a 45-second ground line reset, you step back in and execute. The crowd noise turns into background. You feel anchored, not rescued. That's the future this tool creates. Calm under pressure, consistent execution, faster recovery from mistakes. Or keep reacting the same way and let one moment define you again. The choice is yours. Ownership is the final piece. Nobody can do this for you. It's trainable, but only if you practice it under real conditions. The simplest plan? 7-day ground line challenge. Day 1, start with awareness. Days 2 to 5, build reps into warm-ups. Day 6, test it in a controlled scrimmage. Day 7, use it after every mistake in a live game or competitive drill. Track how long it takes you to feel steady again after errors. Here's the CTA. Try the 7-day ground line challenge. Post a clip on social with the hashtag #GroundLineReset. Tag the show and tell us what changed. We'll share standout clips and give coaching notes. If this hit for you, don't just listen and move on. Own it. Because this isn't just about what you know. It's about how you show up. Let's get to work. If this podcast hit for you, don't just listen and move on. Own it. Because this isn't just about what you know. It's about how you show up. Your mind, your body, your habits, your awareness, it's all connected, and it's all your responsibility. And when you start taking ownership of that connection, that's when things change. That's when you are free to play your best. That's when you become the elite athlete you are. Have fun, play hard, and we'll see you next time.